I would like to formally apologize for any disrespect I may have given to Jalen Williams, aka J Dub, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, or the Oklahoma City Thunder throughout this entire season, last season, or any point throughout any of their careers. I had said things like I didn't think the Thunder were ready to be a championship team. I didn't think they had enough offense. I didn't think they had enough 3-point shooting. Um I didn't think their bench was as reliable as a lot of other people did. I didn't think a lot of things about this team. And then tonight, I had said Jalen Williams wasn't good enough to be a second option on a play on a finals winning team, on a championship team. I had said that him and Shea, their play styles were a little too similar in terms of the mid range scoring and the looking for the mid range. I said that had hurt them last year against the Dallas Mavericks, which I do believe is true. But I had said that wasn't good enough to win an NBA championship in 2025 in this day and age. I was wrong. J Dub, all props to you. You go out there in the most important game of your life in a pivotal game 5 where either you can take full control of this series and put a knife straight through the heart of Indiana and their entire fan base, or you can show, hey, Indiana, you still got a chance here. You might just beat us. You know what I'm saying? You can lose 2 out of the 3 games so far of this series at home. And you went out there and you dropped 40 points on 25 shots, played a phenomenal game, easily the best game I've ever seen you play. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, you didn't play as well, you know what I'm saying? But you had 31 points and 10 assists. The only reason I say you didn't play as well is because you weren't as efficient. You were 9 of 21, didn't hit a 3. But coming off of a game where you had 35 points and not a single assist, for you to come out here and still score 30, but then follow that up or compound that with 10 assists and just 3 turnovers, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. J-Dub is a plus 14 on the plus minus. Shea is a plus 9. A few more guys I want to give props to. Lou Dort, the threes you hit in this game were big. You only had 9 points and they were all off of 3 made threes. You were 3 of 7 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3, so not a spectacular game. All 3 of those threes that you hit, I thought were big threes. You banked one in and I'm looking at the screen like, you hit a 30-footer and I'm looking like, I knew y'all were going to win. It probably wasn't 30 feet. It was probably like 27, but still, for Lou Dort, that's 35. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn. And then 3 people off the bench. Alex Caruso, you might have only had 2 points. You might have been 1 of 8 from the field. I don't give a damn about none of that. You have pivotal steal after pivotal steal, pivotal defensive stop after pivotal defensive stop, crucial moment after crucial moment in this game, and you show up for almost all of them. Did you commit some fouls that were a little silly? For sure. Please don't get me wrong. For sure. But almost every single time that I have watched Alex Caruso play, especially in these playoffs and especially in these finals, I have been caught thinking to myself, how did the Bulls not even get a second round pick for this man? How? Props to you. And then there's 2 other guys off the bench that deserve even more props. Cason Wallace. You didn't hit a 3 the entire series up until this point, and then in the first quarter, you go 2 of 2 from 3. You finished the game with 4 steals, 11 points, 3 of 4 from 3, 4 of 5 from the field in 17 minutes. 11 points, 4 steals in 17 minutes on efficient shooting. You had that on 5 shots. Phenomenal game from you, Cason Wallace. I'm talking about defensively, great game. Offensively, you did what was needed to do. You didn't try to do too much. Great job. Aaron Wiggins, I still have my mixed feelings about you. I think there's a lot of times where you try to do a little too much offensively, but I think a big part of that is the fact that they don't have a consistent offensive option off the bench, so they kind of ask you to do a little more offensively. 14 points, and you might have been 4 of 10 from the field, but 4 of 7 from 3 is what I want to look at. You and Cason Wallace, both of your guys' shooting in this game was so necessary. It was so huge in this game. Coming off of a game where the Oklahoma City Thunder only hit 3 threes, they hit more than that in the first half alone. If you combine Aaron Wiggins and Cason Wallace, those two alone hit more than 3 threes just in the first half. I mean, phenomenal game from both of those guys. Really, Oklahoma City's bench, while they didn't put up the scoring numbers of Indiana's bench, and while I don't think they played quite as well as Indiana's bench, they did what they needed to do. Like I said, Jalen Williams, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, phenomenal games from both of you guys. Chet, you didn't score the ball well at all today. In fact, this was your worst scoring game of the finals, if not the playoffs. But the 3 blocks and the 11 rebounds you had were so massive, especially because 5 of those rebounds are offensive. Those blocks, man, and those blocks don't tell the whole story. You were out there deterring everything at the rim. Every single shot that the Pacers were getting at the rim, you were there to alter almost. Like literally, bro. OKC was packing the paint from the jump in this game. It was something that you could tell that they were really trying to do. And in the first half, it was really making life hard on the Pacers offensively. It was forcing a lot of turnovers because of bad passes, because of just poking the ball loose when guys are trying to drive. And it was also just getting block shots and everything like that. And that allowed for OKC to kill Indiana at what they do best, which is in the transition. It gave Indiana a taste of their own medicine. And in the third quarter, I was really, really worried about the Oklahoma City Thunder. I thought that every single person on Oklahoma City had a terrible third quarter except for Jalen Williams, who had like 12, 14 points in that quarter and was keeping them afloat offensively. And like I said, he had just a phenomenal game. But in that third quarter, it really stood out because he was the only guy doing anything. They looked slow. They're in OKC. They looked slow. Their intensity looked down. They were turning the ball over more in the third quarter than they did in the entire first half. I think the number was 6 turnovers in that quarter to 4 in the first half. And I was getting worried. Bro, CJ McConnell comes in during that half, and I mean he balls out. He gives it. Him and Obi Toppin alone go on a run in the third quarter that gets the Pacers to within like 7-8 points. He finished with 8 of 14 from the field, hit a 3, even though it was the slowest and ugliest 3 you'll ever see in your life. Hit a 3, 18 points. Benedict Mathurin didn't score the ball well today, but his 7 points and 8 rebounds were necessary. Obi Toppin didn't shoot the ball well from 3, but his 12 points were necessary, especially in a game where Tyrese Halliburton, we're going to get back to you, but you scored 4 points. We're going to get back to you, though. I'm not ready to go there yet. But I was extremely, extremely, extremely worried about the Oklahoma City Thunder in that quarter. TJ McConnell starts going off. Obi Toppin starts going off. And then what happens? And the J-Dub is keeping them afloat, is keeping them with the lead. And then in the fourth quarter, Indiana comes out with a phenomenal punch. It looks like they hit them right in the mouth. It looks like they're about to take the lead. They get it to within 3 points. And then what happens from there? OKC's defense, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Jalen Williams turned this game on its head. There was like 4 or 5 straight possessions in the middle of the fourth quarter where the Oklahoma City Thunder forced a turnover from the Indiana Pacers, and a lot of that is on that man, Andrew Nembhard. Let me look how many turnovers he had, because I believe every single one of his turnovers was on one of the worst passes I've ever seen in my life. 4 turnovers, and every single one of them was on a terrible pass, and I think every single one of them was in the second half. First of all, you're doing as good as you can on Shai. Shai is one of the best players in the world. You're holding him to as inefficient as you can possibly do. But on the offensive end, you have done nothing for pretty much this entire series. Even in game 1, when you had probably your best offensive game of the series, it was an inefficient shooting night. So for you to go out there, and I'm talking about Benedict Mathurin is sitting wide open in the paint, right under the basket, and you throw the ball past him right out of bounds, and then you're smiling. Oh my goodness, I can't tell y'all how much that pissed me off. What the fuck is funny? Genuinely, I don't care if that's you trying to laugh it off, that you trying to show that you're not trying to show any emotion to the crowd, you're not trying to show that you're rattled or whatever. I don't give a fuck about none of that. You had I'm talking about the closest defenders to him are on the wings, like guarding the short corners. Like they're guarding the short corner, and they're like, those are the closest guys. And there's maybe a guy, I think the closest guy to him might have been at the dunker spot, for real. And you throw the ball into the second row of, and then you have a pass where I don't remember who it was. It might have been Tyrese Halliburton. It might have been Benedict Mathurin. I don't remember, but they make a little move where they're pump faking towards half court, and then they cut towards the basket. You pass the ball towards half court. And then there's one where you like drive, you turn around, try to kick it out, and the ball just immediately gets stolen by Shai. I don't even remember what the last one was. But you had 4 turnovers that were on some of the sloppiest, some of the laziest, some of the stupidest, some of the worst passes I have ever seen in my entire life. Pascal Siakam, please do not get me wrong. You had a very good game. You were the leading scorer. You, TJ McConnell, Miles Turner kind of were like and Obi Toppin kind of were like the only offense for these two guys. Really, for this team, really, it was just you and TJ McConnell. So please don't get me wrong when I say what I'm about to say. But in the first half, I think you might have had 4 turnovers. You finished the game with 6 turnovers to 5 assists. Now you had 5 stocks. You had 28 points. You shot 9 of 15 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3. Got to the line more than anybody else on your team. You had the best game of any Pacer other than maybe TJ McConnell. It was you and TJ McConnell had the 2 best games. But them turnovers were terrible. Tyrese Halliburton finished, and I don't give a fuck about them 6 assists, because you had 3 turnovers with them. You had 7 rebounds, and that's cute. Buddy, In the NBA Finals, in Game 5, and I understand the leg injury. I hope your leg is okay, but you went out there and you played 34 minutes. You only took time out. If your leg was hurting that bad, when you were sitting for like the last 2 minutes of the first half, you would have went back there and, as Richard Jefferson said, got some more treatment on it. I understand your leg is hurt, but for you to go out there and play 34 minutes, you don't get to use that leg as an excuse because you played the entire game damn near. And you didn't hit a single shot. You didn't hit one. Not only did you not hit a shot, you didn't even try to shoot the fucking ball. I'm going to list every single player in this game that shot more shots than Tyrese Halliburton, the guy that people have been saying is a superstar and blah, 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 blah. The guy that is, when he scores 20 points, his team damn near can't lose. And in this game, you took 6 shots. Pascal Siakam took more shots than you. He took almost triple the amount of shots as you. Aaron Nesmith took more shots than you. Miles Turner took 1 less shot than you. And he showed some restraint because he's been shooting he just been throwing the ball up in recent games. He had his best offensive night tonight, by the way. Shout out to you, but it still wasn't enough. And the rebounding just isn't enough. Why are you the third leading rebounder on your team? And even really, it's tied with Nesmith and Siakam. So you could say he's the fucking 5th best. Like, whatever. Nembhard took more shots than you. Obi Toppin off the bench took more shots than you. TJ McConnell off the bench took more than double the shots of you. Benedict Mathurin off the bench took almost double the amount of shots as you. Chet Holmgren hit 4 shots and took almost triple the amount of shots as you. Jalen Williams took 4 times the amount of shots as you. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander took almost 4 times the amount of shots as you. Luguentz Dort took more shots than you. Alex Caruso took more shots than you. Aaron Wiggins took more shots than you. Cason Wallace took 1 less shot than you. Tony Bradley played a total of 10 minutes in this game, scored 2 less points than you. Johnny Furphy played 2 minutes in this game, scored 2 less points than you. In Game 5 of the NBA Finals, where you just had a loss that was so embarrassing because the Oklahoma City Thunder damn near couldn't have played worse, you come out here in the next game and you did not hit a field goal. You only took 6 shots as the best player on your team in a Game 5 of the NBA Finals in 34 minutes of play. You took 6 shots. You were just out there dribbling the ball, getting lost, getting caught, just going up into the air, picking up your dribble with no plan, turning the ball over, playing for the other team because you weren't playing no damn defense. I mean, I look at this game and you literally damn near didn't do a single thing. I was looking, like, it got to the point where in the 4th quarter, I wanted TJ McConnell to be in the game over you. You didn't do anything positively for your team tonight. Is there anything else I have in my notes that I want to say before we get up out of here, man? Tony Bradley, by the way, speaking of you played some big minutes. It's not going to show up in the stat sheet the way that it is for a guy like TJ McConnell, but you played some big minutes. Halliburton, it was your first scoreless. It was your first scoreless first half of your entire NBA playoff career. And I want to just emphasize one more thing about the Pacers as a team. You turned the ball over 22 times tonight. You only forced 11. When a team has, you turn the ball over 22 times in an NBA Finals game and you were still within 3 at one point in the 4th quarter, and Tyrese Halliburton still didn't even try to shoot the ball. Still. Oh my goodness. Congratulations to the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are the NBA champions. Congratulations to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who is the Finals MVP. I don't even care if the Pacers win Game 6 because after what I just saw, I give them a 5% chance to win the series. Not 3. I give them a 3% chance to win the series regardless of whether the 3% is only if they win the next game, which, I mean, obviously, because if they don't, then the series is over, so that was stupid to say. But even if they win the next game, it's still only 3% chance to me that they win the series because there is no way you can come back from your best player scoring 4 points in an NBA Finals game, only taking 6 shots and not hitting one of them bitches. You would have thought, bro. That's a stat line that you would be mad if it was your 8th man on the bench. If Draymond Green put that up in the finals, I'd be mad. Let alone Tyrese Halliburton. And Draymond Green is the king of a triple single. You put up... I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. All glory to God as always, man. I love you. So does God. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. As always, let me know what y'all thought about this game. Let me know what y'all thoughts are on the whole series and the way that people played tonight as a whole. I have more notes. I'm not even going to get into it. The last thing I am going to say about this game that I just saw in my notes, the Oklahoma City Thunder heard the buzz about this not feeling like the finals or whatever, and they did announce the starting lineups tonight, and I thought that was a phenomenal decision. I thought that gave them... That turned me up, for real. Like, that was one of those things where I was like, yes, I love this. A team listening to the fan base. The NBA's listening. Thank you for doing the starting lineups. That's about it. All right, peace out.